welcome to this marbling tutorial. Hopefully you've got one of my kits in front of you and you're gonna do it with me. If not, in the description you'll find a link to my kits where you can get everything that I'm going to use today and you'll be ready to marble with me. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So in front of you, you should have one tray, a set of 6 marbling inks. You should have some gloves, optional, but it can get a bit messy, so I do recommend. You should have a stirrer, and you should have some paper and some cards to do whatever you want to marble today. And you should have a drying area prepared to put your wet prints on. You'll also want some water in your tray. I've just got a little jug so I can pop it in now. And that, I think, is everything, and you're ready to go. So shall we just begin? Okay, so I'm going to film what I'm doing with my hands and what I'm telling you at the same time, so hopefully you should be able to see both right now. So I'm getting my jug of water and I'm just going to pour in my tray to fill it about halfway full, or maybe less. You really don't need a lot. So that's in there like that. And then, as you can see scattered around, I've got some prints that I've done previously. I've had some really gorgeous ones recently. I really love that colour combo, which is a bit of an odd one of red and orange and a black. But yeah, I really like that. So, you get your inks. Yours won't look as scruffy as mine do. And now first things first, you want to give them a shake. And if it's your first time using them, you might find that the nozzle's a bit blocked, in which case just use a pin to sort of go down there and it should come out fine. So I've picked up this blue, and also a lot of the time you might not be able to tell straight away what colour it is, because a lot of them in the bottle appear a lot darker than what they're going to come out as. So yeah, you might not be able to tell what it is, but just, you know, give it a go, experiment. So you've given it a little shake with the lid on, of course. Don't be shaking it with the lid off. And all you're going to do for this first print, because your water is sort of sitting there, it's not really primed yet, we're just going to put a few drops on the surface of the water. And sometimes they might do something straight away, or other times they might just sit in little tiny blobs. And really it depends colour to colour. Some colours spread really well and some colours stay kind of compact. I think generally blues and oranges spread quite well, whereas sometimes what sticks where it is, yellow sometimes doesn't spread. It really depends. So give it a go. And then you get your little stirrer stick and you just sort of get it up in there, start swirling around, breaking up those blobs. And it might look like I've not got a lot going on here right now, but let me just take a print and we'll see. And let me get my drying area ready because I have not done it. Okay, so all you do is you get your piece of paper and you lay it on the surface of the water. No need to wait, you can just pull it straight back up and you have got a lovely marbled print. So you see how that didn't look like much in the tray, but actually it looks pretty good, pretty nice. So now what you can do is, I would suggest taking quite a few prints from what ink is in the tray, because if you just keep adding more ink, it's going to get really saturated really quickly and then it goes really blobby, it doesn't swell as well. So I recommend getting 2 or 3 prints per batch of ink that you pop in there. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to put another colour in now. So after you've done a couple of prints, then you can introduce a second colour. So I'm going to put my blue away. What should we have? Should we have a bit of red with it? So leaving the blue as it is in the tray, we get our red and we just do the same again. And we just pop a couple of drops in. You see how that's just staying as it is? And that is because the surface has already sort of got ink occupying the space. So there's not a lot of space for the red to go to, but as you see, it's slowly starting to, like, the blobs are growing as they move out into the water. And the reason this works is because these inks are like oil based, so therefore they float on water. So same again, I'm just going to swirl them around, and you can experiment with different patterns of this. You can go abstract, or you can try and go backwards and forwards and make some lines. whatever you want. You can swirl it a tiny bit, swirl it a lot. So you get your paper again and you just lay it on. So you might want to choose an area where you think there's a lot going on. So here I've definitely got some blue and some red. So I'll go that way. And there we go. How gorgeous is that? Beautiful. So because I swirled that quite a lot, it's got some quite narrow lines in it. If I swirled it less, I would have sort of bigger waves like that one that I've done before. And this is one that I've swirled a lot too. And also kind of that one, not a lot of swirling. As you can see, there's these big areas there of the blobs. So totally just experiment. So now that that's still got loads of ink on it, I'm just going to do another one straight away. And that is looking really interesting actually. Very funky. So then you might want to add another colour, or you might just want to get your skewer back in and just try and get a bit more action going. I think I will go for another colour there, or just maybe a bit more of the red. So you can sort of start transitioning out colours, so there's not much blue left in there now. And if I just keep adding a little bit of red and we keep soaking up the blue with new prints, eventually there's not really going to be any blue in there. And you don't need much ink dropping in each time either. Not only is it a bit of a waste, it'll make your inks last longer if you sort of be a bit conservative with it, but you just don't need that much. See, I'm putting 4 or 5 drops in at a time, but they spread really well. And like I said, if you sort of put too much in, it just gets really blobby really quickly. But look at this swirl going on. I'll try and capture this part. Not sure I succeeded there. Oh, yeah. So you see, I got that big corner swirl. And then I don't even need to swirl again because it's going mad. Beautiful, that one. Really nice. So you see, it's just got tiny little flecks of blue in, which I kind of like, but it's sort of transitioning out of the blue and just more into the red. So if I added a third colour in now, there's probably not going to be much blue going on in there. So your cards, obviously you can do both sides of the card, the front and the back. You can do both sides of your envelope. What I have had people do a lot on workshops, which I really like, is just the flap of the envelope. So I'll do that now. So if you just pull the flap out, so it sort of sits at an angle like that, and we'll dip that in. I'm not going to add any more ink because we'll go for like a more subtle one. So, and you might have to tap it down because it is quite light. And there you go. And how cute does that look just with that flap done? I've gone a bit over the line, but it's quite straight, so it looks pretty good. So that's really nice. And then obviously you can still write your address on there and everything. Very cute. And then you could do your card with the same set of ink in there, so it matches. So it's like a little cute set. Just the possibilities are endless with the cards. So we'll add a third colour in and we'll see what that looks like, shall we? How about a bit of green? My green is a tricky one. It's not even a new ink, but it always gets a bit stuck. So sometimes you might need to go back in with your pin just to keep it fresh. When you can hear the air coming out, that's when you know it's good. But even then, to be honest, I struggle with this green. It does come out just very slowly. Let's just go for those 3 little drops, and I think that'll be enough. See, the green not spreading massively amongst this red, but I think that'll be fine. So let's see. So it'll be interesting to see how much blue we can see in this one. Beautiful. I see there, that is an air bubble. That is where it's laid on the water and it's not quite laid flat, so you might get a little air bubble, but I don't mind them, to be honest. I think it's part of it, you know. I've got a few on these, and depending on the pattern, it's maybe not even that noticeable. That was one there. Right, so say you're done with that now. It's got a bit blobby maybe, and you'll know what I mean by that. It won't be swirling as much. you might want to refresh your water. So you can dump this out and put fresh water in, or if you want to save water a little bit, be a bit eco-minded, you just need to get a bit of scrap paper, and all you're going to do is place it on the water and just try and really mop up most of the colour. And I would get right to the edges as well, because the colour starts clinging to the edges. And there we go, there's a few bits there. Literally just mop it up. And you see that it's got a few specks in it, but it's a lot cleaner already. So that is basically how you marble. So just experiment, have fun with it. If you sort of look up heritage marbling patterns, you'll see there's loads of ways to do it. You can do your skewer in various directions and you'll get these really nice traditional patterns, or you can do the modern twist. It's very trendy right now to just do the waves sort of and the swirls. So whatever you want, go crazy with the cards. If you want to marble other things, these inks will marble ceramics, but they will only marble ceramics that are uncoated. So if it's like a shiny ceramic, like you know when you buy a mug and it's like white and shiny, that won't marble, because what it'll do is the ink will just bead up and sort of run off. So you want like a non-glossy, like unvarnished ceramic. So like places like Hobbycraft do loads of blank ceramics that are like that. Anything like that really you can do, and then you can just sort of with a spray varnish or some kind of gloss seal it in afterwards. Although to be honest, a lot of the time they probably won't need sealing in, but just if you want to give it that shiny finish, then you can just go over it with a gloss or some kind of sealant varnish, and it'll look like a gorgeous shiny marbled item. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of marbling with me. I hope you enjoy your kit and you're really productive with it. I want to see all the things you make. So you can make loads of stuff with the papers. You can make any paper craft, you can marble, you can make the cards, you could make paper bunting. I've made origami paper boxes with marbled papers before. Paper flowers look really good with marbled paper. Just all sorts really, just let your imagination go wild. So if you've got any questions about marbling, drop them in the comments and I'll answer them all. And yeah, I just hope you have a really nice time, and thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon.